Now, I would like to take this opportunity to invite Mr. Sudhendu J. Sinha, advisor at the government's public policy think tank body Niti Aayog, to deliver the keynote address. The stage is all yours, sir.
Thank you for making me a part of this particular event. And I must compliment ET Auto World for organizing this EV Day webinar. Definitely, it is a very important day because it stands for celebrating the transformation in mobility, which is really one of the greatest global disruption of our times. Now, the topic is building a resilient EV supply chain. And as is informed, that India has got unique opportunity, it presents India a unique opportunity to position itself as a global leader in EV manufacturing and technology. So that is the big opportunity that is there with us. But yes, if such a big opportunity is there, it can't be without challenges. It can't be without, some of the roadblocks, some of the initiatives that we'll have to take. We are aware that EV, electric mobility, electric vehicles, they are one of the prime focus of the government. And the schemes that have so far been launched, the national schemes, flagship schemes, plus the initiatives of the state governments and many of the industry partners. So all of them have together, you see, they are trying to bring about this particular transformation, the electric mobility, with all the positive advantages on health, advantages on conserving our foreign exchange that otherwise is going for fossil fuel imports, those kind of things are there. Now, let's see what is the precise national aspiration. The national aspiration is not only to make India an EV using nation. The aspiration is that we must transform ourselves, we must graduate ourselves to one of the EV, one of the greatest, one of the biggest global manufacturing hub for electric vehicles. So that is what our national aspiration is. And this has been so clearly laid out, you see. It has been detailed in the economic survey, in the latest economic survey, where it says that, okay, by the year 2030, we should be in a position to manufacture and sell 10 million EV units. See the big number that is there. In addition to that, from now onwards till then, the CAGR is expected to be almost 49%. And this particular ecosystem is going to create some 5 million jobs. It is all clearly laid out. What I mean to say is that auto industry in general and EV manufacturing in particular is going to be one of the growth drivers for this nation, one of the major manufacturing setup for the country. But yes, if we want to achieve it, it would be necessary that the resilient supply chain, resilient EV supply chain is achieved. By resilient is of course meant that we should be able to bounce back in the event of any untoward, any shock, any major, change. We should be able to bounce back. So there could be geopolitical new realities. There could be new trade deals and agreements. There could be even COVID, for example. So that is one stretch. That is the meaning of the expression resilient. And when we say EV ecosystem, EV supply chain, by that is meant sourcing of raw materials. By that is meant the processing and refining of those raw materials. The third is production processes, and that includes what we say the manufacturing line, the assembly line. And finally, the recycling and circularity. So if the entire chain, that is to say, the supply chain and all its links, I identified you before you the four principal links, but if you go granular, there will be another set of it. So if the major portion of this link is within the country, it is localized, we have control and command over that. In that case, what would happen is that we will be in a position to go ahead without any risk factor, without any you kind of apprehension that we have to be majorly dependent on some external sources. So this is precisely what the approach is, that gradually the supply chain, maybe cathode manufacturing, maybe the electrolytes, maybe the critical raw materials, maybe the refining processes, all of them gradually be shifting to the country. So this is about the EV supply chain. A lot of initiatives are already going on. The PLI scheme has got two major focus: the PLI of advanced chemistry cell and battery storage systems, that focuses on the quality parameters, and it also focuses on the localization percentage. So the localization is very important, because otherwise what would happen is that we would be just importing something, kind of assembling them here, and like taking the credit that we have manufactured. That is not precisely the idea. The idea is that the entire manufacturing base, as far as possible, the linked supply chain, as long as possible, must be on this soil, must be within India. That is what the aim is, and it is going on well. I would say that in addition to the PLI scheme on advanced chemistry cell, there is another one which is focusing on automotive components. That is also pulling off very well. So the automobile components, though in electric mobility, they are very few in number, but most critical. So maybe drivetrain, maybe other battery management systems. So those systems, they must be homegrown, homemade. And if we have such a strong technological base, we have got a network of IITs which are doing so well. And Niti Aayog, Government of India, we have nudged together to these IITs, and today 16 out of 23 IITs, they have opened up centers of excellence. So they are the places where work is going on, a lot of work is going on with respect to electric mobility, battery storage systems, and they are also getting connected to the CTOs, chief technical officers of the private industry, and trying to find out that what are their problem statements, or how they could solve it at their own assembly line. So this is what is already going. So if it's such a strong technological base, which is such a strong policy push, and of course with the kind of industry which is absolutely taking it forward, which is absolutely on board with us, the state governments are on board with us, there is no reason why we should not succeed as becoming one of the major global manufacturing hub. So that is what the aspiration is, and we should be able to achieve it. And I'm sure on today, that is the World EV Day, we have got a lot of good wishes. And my sense is that in a couple of years, max to max, we should be able to go for adoption and proliferation of electric vehicles in a big way. And it should be able to display to the public, it should be able to kind of convince them that the strength of it also on the basis of its affordability. So the electric vehicles have to be made affordable. And that is why so much of financial innovations, so much of new technological initiatives, they are being made to it. And the moment we start manufacturing the advanced chemistry cells, assembling them into battery right on the soil, having control over the supply chain, as the theme of this particular webinar is, we would be game for it. So all my good wishes, and of course, again, I would kind of compliment ET Auto World for taking it forward. I know that you have been very positive. You have been making a lot of awareness initiatives and that is paving all the positive dividends. So congratulations, thank you, and best wishes.